Before gold, there was wool. Before riches, there was dust. And before Australia became a land of booming cities and global wealth, it was just another far-flung British colony, overrun by sheep and convicts. But one glint of gold, just one, would change everything. This is the story of how Australia went from sheep to gold, and how that golden fever redefined a nation. If you'd like to learn history, then like this video, and subscribe to the channel for future educational videos. The land before gold. By the early 1800s, Australia's economy ran on wool. The vast open land, perfect for grazing, became the empire's wool machine. Squatters claimed thousands of acres. Sheep outnumbered people by the millions. The phrase was coined, "Australia rides on the sheep's back." But wealth, real wealth, was still a dream for most. Except a few whispering voices spoke of something else, deep in the soil. The first glint. In 1851, near Bathurst, Edward Hargreaves found it. Gold. It wasn't the first time someone had noticed it, but this time it couldn't be ignored. The word spread like wildfire. Men left their farms. Cities emptied. Ships sailed from every corner of the earth. Australia had found its fever. Our gold rush chaos. The gold rush wasn't just a boom. It was an explosion. A chaotic, wild surge of humanity unlike anything Australia had ever seen. Within months of Hargreaves's discovery, men abandoned their farms, left their families, and poured into the goldfields. In Victoria alone, the population doubled in a single year. Cities emptied. Ships arrived overflowing with dreamers, and deserts became crowded camps overnight. They came from everywhere. Irish laborers, Chinese miners, American adventurers, German craftsmen. Different languages, cultures, and dreams clashed in the dust. The goldfields were a frenzy of hope and hardship. Tents sprawled like cities. Creeks were lined with shovels and shaking pans. The promise of instant fortune was irresistible. But the reality was brutal. There were no rules. Fights broke out over land, over tools, over the tiniest shimmer of gold. Gambling dens and makeshift saloons appeared. So did thieves. So did desperation. Women were few, prices were high, and food was scarce. One day you could strike it rich. The next you might starve. This wasn't just a search for gold, it was survival. And for many, it was the most dangerous gamble of their lives. Blood on the diggings. The Eureka Stockade. Important takeaway is that gold wasn't free. Licenses were expensive, laws unfair, police brutal. Resentment boiled into rebellion. At Ballarat, miners raised the Southern Cross flag and swore to defend their rights. The Eureka Stockade ended in blood, but it planted the seeds of democracy. The sheep returns. But different. When the dust settled, many returned to sheep. But now they were rich, or richer. The gold had built railways, banks, universities. It had turned backwater towns into cities. Sheep and gold weren't rivals. They were partners. Australia wasn't just a colony anymore. It was an economy, a player on the world stage. Legacy of the golden years. The gold rush left more than money. It left deep scars. Aboriginal land was stolen, cultures disrupted, but it also left opportunity, diversity, and a spirit of rebellion. From sheep to gold, from dust to cities. Australia found its identity not in one, but in both. What remains of the boom today, Australia still mines gold. It still farms wool. But the real treasure lies not underground, it's in the journey that shaped a nation. What began with sheep quiet, humble, unremarkable, gave Australia its early lifeline. What followed with gold, wild, unpredictable, transformative, gave it its voice. From the lonely outback to the roaring goldfields, from squatters and shepherds to rebels under the Southern Cross, Australia's identity was forged in a furnace of ambition, conflict, and resilience. The gold rush gave rise to cities, industries, and migration. It introduced democracy, diversity, and division. It built wealth, and it left scars. Aboriginal lands were seized, cultures disrupted, histories erased in the stampede for fortune. But from that chaos emerged something new, a nation learning to stand on its own terms. The echoes of that boom are still with us, in the glitter of modern skylines, in the legends passed down in country towns, in the railways, the banks, the ghost towns, and the voices of people whose ancestors gambled everything for a chance at gold. Australia did not become rich overnight. It earned its wealth through sweat, risk, and reinvention. And so the story of this land is not just about gold or wool. It's about transformation. From sheep to gold. From colony to country. From survival to legacy.